welcome to Motorstorm Apocalypse, the third game and arguably my favorite racing series ever. If you know nothing of the Motorstorm games, that's fine. I'm going to tell you now. Motorstorm is a launch day title for the PS3 and brought a bunch of new things to the table of arcade off-road racing games. The first being, every class of car is in almost every single race. What this means is the game does not care if you are driving a motorcycle or a monster truck. You both take part in the race at the same time, which is awesome and extremely unbalanced, but in a good way. The second thing is it brought some of the most unique racing tracks, as the game had to balance a track of 7 different types of vehicles, 8 in Pacific Rift and 13 in Motorstorm Apocalypse, all with varying grip levels and speed, which it did a pretty good job with a little thing called mud and verticality, meaning that in general, the higher you were on the track, the drier the surface was, at the risk of being a smaller track and more risky to drive. And the last thing, dynamic changes to the track between laps. Now, in the original 2 games, all this meant was that the car would leave a rut in the mud or dirt, and so it would kind of make you have to change your lines from lap to lap in the lighter cars. But in Apocalypse, it changes the tracks themselves. Technically, this side is way more dangerous, but it's all right. Gotta love just how much crap happens in this cave. There's just buildings falling over, stuff's breaking left and right. It's great. So jumping into the game, we start with a normal campaign and get the story of Mash, a rookie driver to the Motorstorm racing, along with some much needed context as to why this game is taking part in a city and not off-road.
So, here we are, day 1 of the festival, and you're all thinking, hey, big dog, you crazy old coot, why have we come to a city, huh? Can't off-road in a city. Well, there's gonna be a quake in that city, and not just any quake. All the workers have been evacuated from the hive, so that's our city now. They got most of the people out, but not quite everyone. Some crazy folk are still in there. Either they don't believe in the apocalypse, or they're too far gone to care.
We're not here to get involved in their business. You see those guys? Just drive around them.
Or through them. Whatever.
Rookie qualification cutoff is 5th place. You Brotherhood guys, racers in your crew need to come in 3rd or better. And as for you veterans...
Well, I'm gonna win, because that is what I do.
With that, like all Motorstorm games, we then race to the festival site. Quick sidebar here. I love when games do this correctly, and this game makes this initial drive to the start line feel amazing. Now, as far as the driving goes, the physics of this game are really good, as it's a perfect cross between arcade and realistic driving, which just feels correct for this type of game. Now, going forward, there are 2 mechanics that I should mention about this game. The first being boost.
All right, enough chit-chat. Listen up. Boost is your best friend. Use it all the time, but don't overheat. Tyler, show us why. Any questions?
This game relies heavily on not only taking good lines, but also how you use your boost and the heating and cooling of the engine, so you can use it more often. The second is ramming. By pressing circle or square on the controller, you can ram left or right, or punch if you're on a motorcycle or 4-wheeler. Now, all that out of the way, the first race. Now, I originally was writing this as be like a my experience through the game type video that I've been doing for the last little while, but this game was roughly 4 hours of racing with 40 different tracks, so I'm kind of just going to do an overview instead, so I don't have to go through and talk about every tiny detail. starting off with the rookie campaign, we race through a few different environments like a normal city, a subway, some rooftops, and a dockyard. Now, all these do have a small twist in them that there are massive earthquakes happening the entire time. As for difficulty, the rookie campaign is about average for a racing game, but there's a lot of fun with all the destruction and mayhem happening every single lap. From there, we go to the pro campaign. Which is a little harder, as we now need to take third place in every race to qualify. But all in all, it's mostly the exact same, with the difficulty being a little harder because the tracks you race on are a bit more destructive, and the car choices are less optimal for the tracks. Now, the pro story is a bit more interesting, as it's more of a revenge story, as one of the drivers killed someone in the crew. Comes around at the end to a final showdown.
I don't know if that counted either. But, you know, we did make him wreck again. It just wasn't the... Alright, never mind, maybe it counted. Where are you driving?
We'll never catch up.
Dude, I'm sorry, yo. You should have left me behind.
You're trouble. That's what you are.
Well, I guess you love trouble.
Now, the veteran is harder, again, with the AI turned up more to how real people would drive. And the track's being mostly set as all the earthquakes have settled the area by this point, but still being super fun to drive on. With the veteran story mostly based around the conflict of the Motorstorm festival and some private military group that is trying to stop it from being the main focus.
Yep, we got mercs.
I'll cope. Send Ty in when I plant the signal.
But again, this all goes full circle with at the end of the veteran campaign, your character is racing away from the escape carrier as everybody else is trying to go to it, while being chased by a helicopter. Overall, the story was not that great, but the cutscenes were fun and the cartoony style still holds up. And some of these cutscenes were just absolutely out of pocket. Like, look at this.
This quick racing's got me jumpy as spit on a skillet.
Ah, come on, bro. You're the luckiest man alive.
Left luck's not enough.
Look, it's little sashimi.
Get off me, you one-eyed skank! Ugh!
Right eye, corner pocket.
To my surprise, though, the graphics held up really well. There are some dirt textures especially that show their age, but overall, if it released today, it would still be a really good looking game. Now, sadly, it does not have as good of a soundtrack as the previous two games, but it still does enough to set the mood, and being a mostly drum and bass type soundtrack, Now, sadly, the online of this game does not exist anymore, so I can't talk about that, but just know that when it was a thing, it was some of the most intense racing you could have in a video game. All in all, going back to it in 2024 was great fun, and I would still recommend this game today as it holds up really well. With that, like and subscribe. I will see you next video. Bye.